And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you took a moment to breathe, get some water, and maybe even get some snacks for the rest of the broadcast, because we are now here for some qualifying matches. The first series was, of course, a best of 3, and that was really the beginning, because now, from here on forward, best of 5s. The winner of this series will advance on to the main event for the Americas Regionals. The loser will be knocked down to the lower bracket. I also just realized that it says Europe. I just realized that. I need to fix that. One moment. Un momento, papi. Un momento. Bam. There we go. And meanwhile, as we get into this, predictions are open. Predictions are open in the chat. Place your bets on how you think this series will go, whether it goes the way of the Protoss or the Zerg. Best of luck. Up to you to decide. It's spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the American Protoss player. Oh, I assumed was on Team LTK. Is on Team Super. It is Nina. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have her opponent. We have once again going for another proxy hatchery. We have the Brazilian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. Here we go. We do have a probe scout coming out across the map. Erik going for a proxy hatch once again into a spawning pool. The same build he went for against M Canning in game 1 on this very map. Probe scout comes in. Nina has not seen, unlike M Canning, Nina has not seen the proxy hatchery. She is not fully aware of where it is gonna attempt to check here, and upon seeing the lack of expansion, I'm sure is aware that something is amiss. There it is. It's going for a gate into Cybercore into the later expansion, or it's going to be delaying the expansion entirely here. Should throw down the Forge. Actually, a second gateway, so a different reaction here from Nina. Second pylon as well. The Zealot is being chronoed as we speak. And Nina is now aware of what's happening, is getting ready for it. Spine Crawler is on the way from Erik. But again, this time it was a later scout. So this time, Nina won't have cannons anywhere near as quickly as M Canning did. And the Zealot has arrived. Just make sure everything is correctly set up. And we're going to be able to focus on one of these spine crawlers already. We should be forcing a cancel. There we go. We do cancel just in time. If you recall earlier, there was a kill on the spine crawler, and Erik had a really rough start getting this going. Did struggle quite a bit. But that's the first spine crawler will be able to finish up. Shield batteries on the way. We're going for a robo response. Interesting. Okay, with that robo, we can work towards immortals. The downside is because the robo is on the low ground, if we lose control of these pylons, the immortals will not be long for this world. They will not be able to finish. The shield battery does go down. Good control here. Good target firing out of Erik. Stalker comes out, but it's going to get surrounded. Completely zoned away, and the spine crawler can have its way with this gateway. Second spine crawler's on the way as well. No creep spread yet from this queen. Actually went for the inject over on that proxy. The Lings, though, they do come back. They're going to be able to work their way on this Stalker. Gateway taking a lot of hits. The Robo is going to finish. A nice shuffling on the units there from Nina. Does end up saving that Stalker in the end. And due to the lack of creep, or due to the delay on this creep tumor, we do need a little bit more time here to actually get within range. We do need more time. There we go. The spine crawler is now pushing on forward. First immortal is almost halfway done. It is being chronoed out. Erik is on the timer. He's got to go. He'll get a surround on one of the shield batteries. Cybercore so close, but it looks like Warp Gate will barely finish in time. We will finish Warp Gate. Cybercore goes down. We get a couple of pylons as well. We're going right for that gateway, but the immortal will finish. And with the completion of the immortal, I mean, Nina, her army's not looking too bad. Oh, the queen's taking a lot of hits. Bit of miscontrol there from Erik. Oh, the queen has to back off. We have one transfuse. We don't want to lose it. We don't want to lose the queen. As the Lings, they collapse on these pylons. They're trying to get some surface area on the shield battery if possible. But again, Nina, this army is getting stronger and stronger. A second immortal on the way. No! But the robo's depowered. The robo is depowered. Another pylon about to be thrown down as well, but it looks like it is going to be focused down by the Lings. is gonna barely be focused down in time. The Spine Crawler is now within range of the rest of the production. They focus down the Zealots. The Lings do get cleaned up though. That was a little bit wasteful out of Erik. The Queen does go down as well. It looks like Erik, he has run out of steam. He's being cleaned up. That was very close though. I do think that he did overextend though with those Lings and did throw a lot of them away. And now here comes the second Immortal. And Nina is cleaning this up. Back at home, Erik is starting to drone. Now the question becomes, has Erik done enough damage? I don't think so. Has he done enough damage? I mean, he's spreading creep towards the natural base. There are 2 Immortals though. That's the problem. With these 2 Immortals, because we didn't break the production, because we didn't break this Robo, yeah, Nina, she's going to be able to clean this up and counterattack. Back at home, Erik just trying to drone up as best he can. We do have a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings are available. Nothing in the main base. Cybercore is on the way. So these Lings will be able to contain Nina for a little bit longer. But Erik has a lot of droning to do. He is far behind. Very similar to what we saw against M. Canning, where Erik's economy is in shambles. And he's going or transitioning into a Roach all-in. Okay. Here we go. This hatchery is going to be going down. Hatchery will fall. Ling's going to try to come in from, or try to go for a bit of a scout, or at least slip into the main base. Get a read on what the tech is looking like. I should actually team super. There we go. Should actually fix up the teams for Nina for next game. We get a full scout. We get eyes on the Cybercore. And Erik is racing back home. Nina now with Immortals. And Erik behind this is going to try to commit here to an all-in. Or follow-up all-in. He's been all-in this entire time. Prism is arriving. And with good enough juggling, with good enough micro, I don't know if Erik can really stop damage from being done. Queen taking a lot of hits. Queen is going to go down. And even with these Lings here, they arrive just 1 second too late. As the roaches have been spotted, Nina fully aware of what the follow-up is, working on another Immortal. Ling speed is finishing up. Oh. We got a Dark Shrine on the... Let's go! Dark Shrine is on the way for Nina. We're working on those DTs. And Erik has no way of detecting. There's no lair, there's no spores. Erik, he's going... Is he going for the gold? Gonna try and go for the gold, but I think Nina did spot the drone. I think she's aware. He's aware of what's going on. Yeah, now Erik has no other choice here but to commit. He's going to be taking an expansion back at home. Going to be threatening that natural. I mean, Nina is still on 1 base, but the economy here up to 30 workers. My god. Can Erik break this? With a defensive Immortal with force fields, with sentries, I don't really think we can. We're going to pick away at some of the shield batteries. At least. Oh, we catch a Ravager. Ugh. Do you manage to catch a Ravager? Here come the DTs, and this is going to be the game-winning move here for Nina. As Erik attempts to claw his way back in. The DTs, they waddle in. No detection. GG gets called. And Nina will take game number 1. After defending the proxy hatch. GG, well played. Oh my god. Again, it was close though. It was a very close fight at the natural base. Where Nina was barely able to hold on and maintain those Immortals, and with those Immortals able to even counterattack and win the game from there. But it was a very close game, very close execution of that proxy. Last did not work out, and Nina takes game one. Takes game one in the end. Whew, but it's a best of 5. It is a best of 5. We have plenty of games ahead of us, and I want to believe that we can get it back and forth, depending on what maps and what builds we go for. I am excited. I'm ready for it. Game 2, Solaris. Here we go. Yo, I see Lorimbo in the chat, papi. Ay. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. This is my identical build. I wonder if he saw it from me or he came up with it on his own. Erik, he's been doing all-ins like this for quite some time. But maybe, you know, great minds. They think alike, papi. They think alike. Speaking of, why didn't I see you in the qualifiers, Lorimbo? where were you? Where were you in the qualifiers? Shaking my head, shaking my head. Much love, much love. As we're getting into that second game. And again, a strong start here from Nina, but I don't know if that really does tell us too much about how this series will go. I don't imagine Erik is going to be going for too many more of those proxy hatches in this series. I feel like Golden Aura is just kind of his go-to build on that map. And as we spread out here in the rest of this map pool, I'm sure Erik has plenty more up his sleeve, whether they're macro or not. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the American Protoss player representing Team Super, not LTK. It is Nina. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have her opponent. We have the Brazilian Zerg player, the inventor of the 15 hatch, which he is going to be going for. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, he's one of our own. He is Erik. There it is. Hatchery is going to be taken. Again, should be 15-15. 15-15 opener here from Erik. And we'll see if this goes into a Roach opener once again. As typically after we end up getting our natural base saturated, we go into double gases, we skip link speed and go into Roaches, but I wonder if Erik is going to go for a different variation, as it has been quite some time since I've casted Erik. It's been a couple of months. So I appreciate that we get to bear witness to Erik once again with this season of ESL Masters Winter. Meanwhile, the probe gets across the map. Nina going for a scout, confirming that the hatchery has been taken, and confirming that we have a much more macro-based opener here from Erik. I'm sure breathing easy, knowing that the pressure is over and we can get into a much more standard opener. Do see a gate expand into a cybercore from Nina. And likewise, Erik just focusing on droning here until eventually he does start working on those gases. Oh. And things are going to be settling down. Again, based on what we saw against M. Canning, this did lead into a Roach Ling Flood, once of course this probe had been dealt with. But Erik, he has a lot of different variations and a lot of builds up his sleeve. That's something to bear in mind as well. I know that he hasn't been back for too long. I think he's been back for like a week leading up to this. So very limited practice time. But there it is, double gases, and the Roach Warren is on the way, just like what we saw against M. Canning. Meanwhile, back at home, it is going to be a Stargate opener from Nina. Should be to go into Oracles, but it's also been a while since I've been able to cast Nina as well. Wonder if she is willing to open up a little bit differently, going for a Void Ray first, for example, hunting down Overlords before getting into Oracles. We'll see. As the Ling does get across the map, is going to be able to get a free scout of the main base and does confirm the opener of choice, and it is, of course, that Stargate. Unlike M. Canning, Nina does go Adept first, not Stalker. The Adept is getting across the map, but getting a read on the economic situation. Sees a lack of drones here, or the light natural base from Erik, as the Queens are waddling across the map and drones are going down. Ooh, the Roaches have been spotted, and Nina now knows. Oracle still on the way. She saw the Roaches. She saw the lack of saturation. There it is. Shield battery being thrown down. The push is coming. Now, this is designed to cripple. I mean, ideally kill. This did basically kill M. Canning in that last game, where Erik was able to get a massive lead and snowball out of control from there. We'll see if he can be as successful this time. Spores are thrown down to deal with the Oracles, to make sure they don't get out of hand and out of control. The push hasn't spotted. Second shield battery is on the way. Overcharge is going to be available as well. How many units do we have? We have 1 Adept and 1 Oracle. That is it. That is the army. Now 2 Adepts. Warp Gate is still in production, and Nina getting caught off guard here, or just unprepared. Again, we need a couple more seconds, and it looks like Warp Gate is going to be able to finish. Overcharge keeping that Adept alive. Up, the Oracle barely saved. Oh my god, that Overcharge. Saving the Oracle, saving everything. Cybercore goes down, but we have run out of steam, and behind this, Erik is droning. But again, has this really done enough damage? Both Oracles survive. We only get the Cybercore. Look at the unit tab. We killed 2 Adepts and only 2 Adepts. And we are working towards a lair. Now, based on the previous games that we've casted, I'm going to assume that this is for Mutas. 2 gases are being taken. Evolution Chamber as well. Like, if this was any other player, I would say, like, oh, maybe we're going to be going Ling Hydra. But, again, Mutas seem to be Erik's favorable unit here in ZVP. We've been seeing a lot of Mutas. Meanwhile, triple Oracles are moving out across the map, which means that 1 Spore is not good enough. 1 Queen isn't good enough either. I'm concerned here for the economy of Erik. The Oracles, they get across the map, and they're going to wreak havoc. 1, 2, 3 workers. Oh, just 2 for now. 2 workers going down. Erik does swat away those Oracles for now. These additional gases. Just needs to have been spotted, and oh, it is not going to be a Spire. It is going to be a Hydrodent. I appreciate it. Erik, he's spreading his wings. Or I guess the opposite of spreading his wings. Says he's not going Mutas. Going to be going Ling Hydra instead. Let's go. As the Oracles are going to be just trying to get a read on things, getting an eye on the Lings that are on the way on the 3rd base as well. Likewise, Nina also working on her own 3rd. Erik down in economy. But he has the potential to come back. I think he's trying to catch some of these transferring workers. That one Zealot prone to getting surrounded. And it will get surrounded by those Lings. Shield battery is not done. And this is getting a bit out of hand. Yeah, we get another surround. We force a recall on the, oh my god, on the Adepts at least. Meanwhile, the rest of the armies across the map, and this 3rd base is going to fall as well. We end up recalling that Void Ray. Queens are coming down, Lings as well. Good force fields trapping those Queens and trapping the Ravager. And Erik, he may not be able to hold on. We have Hydras trickling in, but it's not going to be enough. Can we save the hatchery? It's so close. Up. We can't transfuse. And the hatchery will fall. Now, Nina loses 13 workers, but is still ahead 10 probes. And she gets a kill on this hatchery. Trades well against the Hydras. The Hydras, can they catch these Oracles, though? Looks like they may, but we ignore them. It's fine. We ignore the Oracles. We are going towards this 3rd base where we have an Immortal. No shield battery, but we do have some sentries. We have some force fields. Force fields are thrown down. Erik, he can't quite find any damage there at the 3rd. Getting straight for the robot, but the Overcharge does keep it alive. Good surround though. Doesn't quite catch the Immortal, but does catch the sentries. Good pickoffs, and he does dive on that Immortal. He's not going to get it though. Up. He barely doesn't. Gets within range of the shield batteries. Likewise, so does the other as well. Good positioning here from Nina. Actually keeps both Immortals alive. Did lose the Void Ray and the Oracles, but is able to maintain her economy, maintain saturation, and that is more than I can say here for Erik. Erik was very all in. Oof. We'll be losing the last of his Hydras. And now we have Colossus on the way, and that is the nail in the coffin. Colossus good against all things light. Good against Lings, Banelings, Hydras. It will shut all of this down. Spire is on the Spire is now on the way, but we just don't really have the economy to sustain that. We're down to less than 40 workers. Is there a world where we can focus down this Robo? Not with these Immortals here. It's so high, got so close. The Robo will survive. Colossus comes out. And Erik cannot deal with this army. Nina even going for a 4th base. That's how far ahead she is at this point. He's going to be losing a Stalker here towards that 3rd base. Another Stalker as well. These are some nice trades from Erik. But nice trades are not good enough. Erik, he's banking up for some mutas. And there's potential for damage. But there's just so much for these mutas to do. Yes, here comes the move out, and we're not going to be able to get into that. Not like this. Also, I think that was a misclick. We made 6 Overlords. No! I'm not too sure if that was intentional. Ninja base on the way. We're pulling out all the stops. All the stops, but again, it should not be enough. 3rd base is going to go down. GG gets called, and Nina takes a 2-0 lead in this series. 1 game away from qualifying for the main event, for the main regional. Ooh, GG. And this aggression from Erik just not working the same way against Nina as it did against M. Canning. Again, even this opener, which was, again, a little bit less committed, just did put Erik too far behind overall. His droning, the fact that he lost his 3rd base as well, was too much of a deficit to really overcome. And yeah, this aggression is just not working out. Can we fight back? Now again, I do know that Erik, he can play standard, he can play more macro oriented 100%, but he has very little room for error. Very little room for error in the end. 1 more loss and that will be it. That will be all that is left. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3 on Oceanborn. Oh. Oceanborn is next. Can Erik fight back? He can. He can. But at this point, Erik has to win 3 games in a row. Nina only has to win 1. Oh boy. Here we go. We are loading into our next game. And yeah, I mean, I hope we just get a back and forth. Personally, I just hope we get a back and forth. Hope it isn't a one-sided 3-0, but not up to me, up to our players. As we are going to be getting into Oceanborn. Oh, and we're actually going to have home server advantage here as up. When did that happen? I was going to give a shout out to Yaku. Shout out to Captain Hair in the chats. Oh, for the 2nd time. A couple of days ago, we did get some gifted subs. And once again, thank you, Captain. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope your hair is well. But we appreciate the 5 gifted subs to the Dariel, to Werehug, to Harfang, Yakuzaku, and Tater Tutor. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifted subs. We do appreciate it. All the money that we make here on the channel goes towards our events and goes towards our tournaments, so we do appreciate it. Gracias, gracias. As we're getting into game 3, potentially the final game of this series, as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the American Protoss player representing Team Super. It is Nina. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, ooh, sending a drone out on the map, going for a 15 hatch. Sorry, going for a 15 pull into a 15 hatch. We have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is one of our own. He is one of the CranKy Ducklings. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. The F in his name stands for fear, and he needs your support. It is Erik. As it's a 15 pull into a 15 proxy hatch across the map. Going to be disrupting the wall, forcing a forge, forcing a second pylon. A big reaction here out of Nina. And Erik is doubling down here, sending Lings across the map as well. Now, we are on Oceanborn. The rush distance by ground is relatively short on this map, so Erik can try to take advantage of that by flooding Lings out. But I believe he's going to be expanding back at home, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay, so he is going to be expanding back at home. He's not going all in. He's sending Lings across the map, yes, but I don't think he intends to commit. We'll see. Cannon on the way. Lings are making their way across the map to help deal with this, to help tango with these Lings. But yep, we're joining. So this is a macro proxy hatch, or a macro hatchery in the wall here from Erik. Ideally, he can deal with this Zelt, but alas, it does wedge himself. Up. One Ling does go down. A second Ling as well. Not going to be the best trade here from Erik, but he will get a kill on that Zealot as he lets the hatchery finish. Bold move from Erik. His goal here to spread creep backwards from this base. And again, he's forcing a shield battery. I believe creep also makes sure that we can't expand. Yep, we can't throw it down the Nexus. The creep is just too big. Spine crawlers on the way. Behind this, we aren't actually fully saturating. We have drones here on the front lines instead. Let's go. Erik, his goal here, I believe, is to contain. I believe it's just to contain. We send the queen out to spread that creep. Yep, gonna be spreading that creep. We're droning, we're expanding. We are containing. Keeping Nina on one base. Now, we do have a Void Ray on the way, and that is going to complicate things. Because back at home, okay, we do have a queen, thankfully. There's Spine and Spore putting in a lot of work. And again, as I mentioned before, the goal from here is to spread creep backwards. We're spreading all the creep. We are delaying an expansion because of the creep as well from that hatchery. Focusing down the cyber core. Back at home, saturating as best we can. Can we throw out another tumor? Gib, up. Void Ray has arrived. We have an Oracle on the way, which will help when it comes to cleaning up all these tumors. As we are going to be repositioning behind the spawn for the queen. Oh, God. Taking a couple of hits. As we're just going to be repositioning the stack defense. Looks like we will transfuse the Spine Crawler instead, just maintaining this position. Can we get a kill in the Cyber Core? I don't think we can. I don't think we should. It's going to be close. Cyber Core's a couple of hits and it will survive. Again, Erik still just going gasless. He's got 4 queens back at home, so Void Rays shouldn't do anything. Spore Crawlers as well. Gases are being taken. Erik taking an economic lead. And again, a big delay on this expansion for Nina. So macro proxy hatch, essentially. I see another Erik in the another Erik in the chat. Put a point on the board, Pop. Put a point on the board. Once again, the Oracle's trying to find some damage here, but the Queens are in position. Nina not finding anything. Meanwhile, because the Oracles are looking for damage, they're not actually dealing with these tumors. Up. So there we go. At least this tumor will be dealt with. Stopping the creep shred. And Erik going straight into that lair. Now the question becomes, are we going to be going Ling Hydra again, or are we going to Mutas? All 4 gases have been taken. A Ling speed is on the way. One or the other. Mutas or Hydras. This is when he throws down like he goes like for a curveball and goes for an infestation bit. Ay ay ay. He's Erik with a K, not with a C. Shaking my head, shaking my head. As the Oracles, they do get across the map. They're going to be able to get a lot of DPS done on this base, but the Queens are in position, and we should save this 3rd base this time. Lair is done. There's our tech of choice. Not a Spire. Once again, a Hydra Den, and this will be spotted by Nina. She does spot. She does barely glimpse that Hydra Den. Back at home, she herself is getting saturated on 2 bases. Working on Blink. Still hasn't cleaned up this creep. I love that the Spore is here protecting the tumors as well. Oh my god. As we're getting adventurous, the Spore Crawler should finally go down to the Void Ray. As it tries to escape. Glass it will not. Yo, we're going for the go for the Stalker. Yo, we lure out with the Spore. Kill the Stalker. Worth. Behind this Lingbane Hydra. Erik should be saturating on 3 bases, but alas, he's focusing on the Hydra production. 3rd base is taken. A very exposed 3rd here from Nina, as she opted not to clean up this creep. Again, this hatchery can be very difficult to hold on to, just because it's so wide open, so many angles of attack. High ground here next to it as well. Ling's already getting quite a bit of damage on it. They shouldn't get a cancel, but they do deal hull damage for the follow-up push. There it is. Hydra's on the way. Erotic's Bay is going to finish up because Nina scouted the Hydra Den. I'm sure she's going to be working towards Colossi. Lings do slip in, but they shouldn't get too much done. Erik. Morphing in Bailings, but they're going to be denied. As at least they force an overreaction, force some Stalkers to be morphed in to deal with said Bailings. And here comes the rest of the army. Hydra's, Lings, and up! One, both Oracles go down. Big pickoffs. And do we have an army to defend? We have quite a number of Blink Stalkers. Not that many Lings, though. Oh, without Lings, we cannot fight these Blink Stalkers. Oh, yeah, and Nina knows that. She dives on the army. Everything's going to go down. A big overextension from Erik. He needed his Ling reinforcements. That was a very expensive loss. 12 Hydras just went down. And that was the army. That was the army of Erik. We had potential. We just needed to wait a little bit longer. We needed these Lings to help support, to help buffer. And Nina now in a commanding position with 3 base saturation. The Bay is done. We can work towards Colossus. Second Robo's on the way. And yeah, Erik's just in a really rough place. He is going to be working towards a Spire, and from here we can maybe get into Mutas to harass, but again, that is going to be a tough ask here for Erik. Doing his best to pull Nina apart. Get eyes on the 4th base if possible, but there's nothing here. And we have Corruptors on the way. Okay. I mean, the Colossus is spotted. Corruptors is an interesting choice. I mean, I guess they can help against Colossus, kind of. This used to be a thing back in Heart of the Swarm. But yeah, interesting tech choice here from Erik. It's what I should say. It's interesting that he's going for Corruptors instead of Lurkers. Lurkers, which could arguably be a more secure army composition, especially against a robo-heavy style or a ground-heavy style. This feels really risky. Really risky here from Erik. Does get eyes on the 4th. Is going to force a cancel. The Hydras are a bit exposed, but they should be able to evacuate, especially if they head in a bit of a different direction. Corruptors trying to catch those Colossus if possible. God, the Corruptors marauding around. Could they go for this Nexus? Potentially. But we have some Stalkers in position. Yeah, we do force away those Corruptors. We attempt to collapse on this, and we get a bit of hull damage on that first Colossus. We're diving on in, but the overcharge is popped, and it is not enough to keep the first Colossus alive. We're going for the next one as well. The DPS is just too damn high. The Colossus go down, but do we have enough to deal with the ground army, to deal with all these Blink Stalkers? We do not. Again, Hydras on their own are so vulnerable. We need something else to buffer here, whether it's Roaches or Lings, one or the other, as we deal with the Colossus, but there's still so much else. Erik does pull back. 22 Lings in production. I'm sure Erik hoping that Nina maybe overextends or overstates her welcome, but she does back off. Up. Almost do catch those stalkers. Nina attempting to take a 4th base. Erik spiking here in supply. More Lings on the way. Storm, though, just finished. Do we have any High Templar? We do. Oh, we have 4 High Templar. Soon we'll have 4 Storms. Meanwhile, I love that we're making use of these Corruptors. We have to find some damage, and we are going into the main base. We force a recall. Without losing a single Corruptor, that's pretty worth it already. Looking for other damage. There it is. +1 air attack. A Stargate, Fleet Beacon, Sky Tosses on the way. Big storms. Ooh, gonna be connecting with the Hydras. Oh my god, we stand in the storms as well. The Hydra's taking a lot of hits. The Bailey's are gonna try to roll on in, but this once again is gonna be an expensive loss for Erik. Losing too many Hydras. Oof. Yeah, Nina's getting out of control. Colossus on the way once again. God, 40 Hydras have gone down. I'm afraid to look at the efficiency. We've lost 3,000 gas here for Erik. Ay, ay, ay. Nina trading very efficiently. Likewise, the Corruptors, they do dive on in. They're going for the Robos, actually, and they may get them, but no, the Overcharge will save them. Was within range. Erik now is in a lot of trouble. We are working on Hive Tech. Oh no, we can't lose these Corruptors, especially with Sky Toss on the way and Colossus as well. The Corruptors are needed. Well, Hive is on the way. Typically we would be seeing something like a Lurker Den. We may even try to go into a Greater Spire. Actually, I wonder what kind of direction Erik wants to take us in. Whether it's Lurkers, Ultras. Greater Spire. Once again, the Corruptors, they come in from behind. They create an opening here for the Hydras. So the Hydras, they go for that Cybercore. They do see the upgrade, though. Wonder if that is enough of a tell. Robo does go down, but we're losing a lot of Corruptors. Oof. Big storm. And we're going into Mutas instead. Oh, God. As these Hydras, they trade against Zealots. But Mutas are on the way. Nina with a solid economy. Hasn't started producing any carriers yet, but that's way too soon because there we go. First carrier is on the way. And the Skytoss transition has not been scouted. Now, Erik, he should have seen the Cybercore researching. That was the tell. But I'm not too sure if he did. Overlords are being caught out. Supply block incoming here for Erik. As Nina is getting out of control. Yeah, the Mutas, they get caught out. They have been revealed. We're going straight for the third base, but Nina is committing to a base trade, and I think Nina can definitely afford to do this. Third base is going to be going down. Nina busting in towards the natural. Again, very little left here for Erik to work with. Very little economy to begin with. Oh, the storms! Oh, massive storms on the Mutas. Erik, he takes him to the face. He does crash in, takes down the Archons and the Colossi. But Erik, he's running out of steam. He cannot deal with the main army either. He cannot keep up, and not with this. And the Mutas, they're putting in a lot of work. I just worry when it comes to dealing with, you know, all these Stalkers. The High Templar, plenty of energy for Storm. Nina doesn't really have anything to worry about here. As long as she keeps her army together, like I don't think she can be touched. Phoenixes are on the way. Erik knocked down to 2 bases, knocked down to 26 workers. Big supply block as well as Nina crashes into the main. Likewise, Erik gonna go for the fringe base here. Oh, another big storm though. A lot of Mutas go down. 3, 4 Mutas go down, and we recall back home. And Erik, he's going to lose everything here in the process. GG gets called, and Nina will take the series 3-0, qualifying for ESL Masters Winter Americas. GG. GG, well played. Really solid play here out of Nina. And coming into this, I did rate Nina very highly as the favorite player, especially after 2-0ing Ryu. And Erik just not able to keep up here. Again, he hasn't been back for too long. He's been practicing for like a couple of days, for a week, I believe. And not enough to take on someone of the caliber of Nina. Congratulations. Congratulations, Nina. Well won, well deserved. And with that, Nina can rest easy and get ready for the main event. Meanwhile, Erik has to fight back. He has to fight back in the lower bracket. He still has a chance. He still has an opportunity, but it's he has lost his lifeline. He has lost his lifeline in the process. Ooh. And who's it gonna be? Let's find out. Let us find out here on the bracket. Oh my god. No shot. This is gonna get wild. It's gonna come down to Erik versus Reaper in a best of 5 in a ZVZ against Reaper. Oh my god, this is gonna get close. For those who may not know, Reaper, he is the cheesiest Zerg player in the Americas. The cheese man, you think Erik is no. Reaper, he's the cheesiest Zerg player in the Americas. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get wild. Now, the cheeses that you can do in ZVZ are a little bit more limited. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a 13-12 or 12 pool at some point, and maybe some other link bane aggression, some roach all-ins. There's a lot available. Ooh. Oh boy, but this is gonna get really intense. Real intense. Meanwhile, oh my god, Papi. Dolan, the danger Dolan, he took down Vindicta? No shot. Oh my god. I mean, a shout out to Dolan. I mean, I want both of them to win out here, but congratulations. Dolan took down Vindicta 3-2, qualifying for the main event. We got one Duckling in. Two more to go, Papi. 2 more to go. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dolan for qualifying for the main event. Quack, Papi, quack. Meanwhile, some other updates. Ryu is mid-series against M. Canning. They are mid-series in a best of 3. Oh no, the winner plays against Migs. No. The winner of M. Canning versus Ryu will face off against Vindicta, and that's heartbreaking, Papi. That's heartbreaking. I wish them both the best. I wish them both the best, definitely. As we're going to be getting ready for our own series, we're going to be getting ready for the ZVZ between Erik and Reaper. So, gonna get wild. Going to get wild. As we are just yeah, gonna be getting ready for our next series, just setting up all of the above and setting up the predictions as well. And I guess we're gonna be taking a small break here. Gonna be going on a small break. When we return, we will have our ZVZ. See you soon.